Hello, everybody. Welcome to the United Stand. It is Thursday night. There is a massive game this weekend, and everything you want to know about Man United is right here, right now. No other better place to be. I'm joined by Jordan, my man Jordan. Apart from the football, mate, how's your week been, buddy?
Yeah, week's been good, mate. And as I told you before, I love the Thursday night show, so it's always good to link up with yourself.
Oh, yes, top man, top man. Listen, guys, Mark has been on the pulse all week, feeding you guys all the information after the carnage that was weekend and the humiliation against Liverpool. I hope you've all enjoyed that. Right now, it's my job and Jordan's job just to reassure you that we're not letting this lie. What happened on Sunday isn't going to get brushed under the carpet, people. It really isn't. I'm not going to allow it. None of us are going to allow it, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. First of all, we have to obviously talk about what has been said. Oh, let's be honest, Jordan, mate. What little has been said. Only now are we seeing little snippets and little comments and interviews coming out. And that, for me, that just shouts out. Mediocre, poor. The way this football club is at the moment. The fact that I'm only hearing from my captain now on Thursday after that. The fact that we've not heard anything from our manager, Jordan, mate. I've not spoke to you properly since Sunday, mate. Just how's the week been for you, mate, and everything that's gone on through these last few days, all the sort of aftermath of Sunday, the possible outgoing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, then the reassurance, the usual propaganda crap that's come out, mate. I mean, how's your week been, mate? How have you taken it on? Where are you at with it right now?
Yeah, it's tough. You can't just switch it off, can you? You know, it doesn't just go away until you've played another game. And even then, because it was Liverpool, I think you lose 5-0 to West Ham or to Spurs or whatever. You know, it hurts. But to Liverpool and the way they've mocked us, and then the pictures of Sir Alex and then Kenny Dalglish, and so it's not good. Do you know, I'm normally every Thursday, 11 o'clock, barbers. You know, this week my barber's a diehard Liverpool fan. I had to pull a sickie today because I couldn't bear 45 minutes in the chair with him absolutely terrorizing me. So I told him something come up because I just wanted to buy another week for us to get.
He would have milked it, mate, wouldn't he? He'd have milked it. Be the longest haircut you've ever had.
Mate, these guys are all over me. Like they don't give me a yard. So yeah, no, it hasn't been good. And you're talking about Harry Maguire coming out. I seen something from Rashford. I think was it last night or this morning. Yeah. Clearly, the club had put the brakes on them and told them, look, we don't want any posting. I just said before we live, the propaganda machine behind closed doors has all been meeting up, working out what's the best way to handle this, what's the best way for the club to save face. They clearly made the decision that they didn't fancy Conte, and publicly now they're having to back Ollie. But talk of him being safe and all this nonsense, and that they were never going to sack him. They're backing him and they're backing the process. It's nonsense.
That's it. Guys, and everyone in the comments, there's loads you in here already with us. Don't forget, it's just me and Jordan tonight, guys. So get your comments in. Let's try and interact with everyone in the chat as well tonight. This is your chance. I'm telling you now, guys. Yeah. I know you all sat there. I know you're all scrolling through social media and you're reading these stories from these journalists and everyone in the know. Yeah, and you're panicking, you're worrying. Don't worry, we're with you. Yeah, we're not going to let this lie. It's not acceptable, like Jordan says, for Sky to absolutely be extracting the urine out of this football club by panning to Sir Alex Ferguson, then scrolling across to Kenny Dalglish. That's not there. It's not acceptable that the images of fans leaving at Old Trafford at half-time are being broadcast all over the world. We're not accepting this, yeah? And no matter what comes out and who says what, we're not having it. It's as simple as that. We're with you, and this is the fans' view on it. This is where we're at. I mean, guys, get all your chats in and your comments in, super chats in. Red Baron here. Club don't realise how gut-wrenching the Liverpool loss was. I get you, mate. 5-0, rival fans singing Ollie at the wheel and laughing stock. That's exactly what I mean, mate. It's not just the Sky. It's them telling us live on air when United are not even playing that Leeds fans, that Liverpool fans in a different game are singing our song, taking the mick. And it's okay. It's okay for our captain to only just come out now and speak for us not to hear anything from our manager for nearly a week. I mean, for me, not good enough, Jordan.
Well, like I said, I think they definitely regrouped behind closed doors, put the brakes on everybody, and just said, look, let's work out what strategy is best to go forward. I think the issue is, like we're saying, it hurts every day for us. Like that super chat said, it really hurts. And to these owners, it's just a bad day at the office. Just a bad day at the office to them. They don't take it home. They don't take the emotion home for them. If they had, then something would have happened. And for me, like, you know, if Ollie is going to be staying and it is a long-term plan for Ollie to stay, then somebody needs to be sacrificed for this. Someone's head needs to roll, whether it's the defensive coach, all three coaches. If Ollie is there and he's been given a lifeline for whatever reason, Ollie himself can't be happy with what he saw on the weekend. Now, we know he's not going to make any changes on the weekend. There's all this talk that he's going to bring Van der Beek in and, you know, and do different things. He's not going to do that. He's going to revert to what he always does, which is type. You know, the same team is going to be rolled out there. So he should be making changes. That's what we should be hearing from Ollie is, look, I'm not happy and people are responsible. And these are the changes that we're going to make. But there's not enough coming out from him.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we'll get into that actually in a bit. I have got that lined up for later in the show, talk about the Spurs game and a reaction. And not like just on the pitch reaction. We're talking managers' reactions, like you said then, Jordan, as well. I'm just going to bring up a couple more super chats while we're at it here. As an American, I am embarrassed, appalled, and heartbroken at what the Glazers are doing to our club. We see here in the US, Glazers out. Keep that flag flying, mate. Keep that flag flying. Cheers for the super chat, mate. I mean, this all started today's news. I mean, it's a new one every day, Jordan, but obviously, Andy Mitten, the latest one, obviously very well connected, as we know, at Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not about to be sacked imminently. He's hurting. He's at his lowest as a Manchester United manager right now. He maintains his belief in his own convictions and ideas to continue improving Manchester United and get things right again. Continue. Two words there that jump out at me. And Andy Mitten may be well connected at Manchester United, but that, to me, I'm reading it there, I'm just going, bullshit, don't care. Simple as that, mate. That's how I look at that. I'm a fan, and I go to every game. That, to me, reads out, like you said, propaganda machine in overdrive at Manchester United. Two things in that, like I said there, Jordan. In that comment alone, he's at his lowest. Well, he should be, because so are we, mate, yeah? So are we. You mention the fans every single week. And, you know, well, certain sections of the fans you mention every single week. Not all the fans, Ollie. Yeah. We're hurting more than you, believe me, mate. Yeah. We're hurting a lot more than you because we have to travel the country following this team and getting behind this team in hope more than anything that you actually something's going to happen. There's no courage. There's nothing there that convinces us that we're going to see anything different week in, week out. And for him to say, Jordan, his own convictions, continue improving Manchester United. Continue, mate. So go into that there for me, Jordan. Explain how he means continue. Because, yeah, you could say without fans last season, it was an all right season. But this is a man who's just been given another 3-year contract and continue improving Manchester United. What's improved, mate?
maybe the menu in the canteen.
Yeah, Ronaldo's done that, mate. Oh, by the way, congratulations on Ronaldo, himself, and the news of him and his wife and the twins. Again, 6 kids. Ronaldo's building his own United squad, mate. Maybe that could come into fruition. Congratulations to Cristiano.
Congratulations, prolific on and off the pitch. the difference is, off the pitch, he actually can get an assist. People have assisted him. So, yeah, congratulations. What's improved? Like I said, maybe the canteen menu. I don't know. Because I look at this team now. I look at it in sort of 4 departments that start in 11. Goalkeeper, although that sort of falls into defence. But the goalkeeper, De Gea is definitely playing better. The defence is absolutely awful. The midfield is awful. And attack again, just isn't right. You've got a number 9 out there with no support. So what area of that team is improving? We're falling further and further down the league. We're conceding goals left, right, and centre. We're not scoring as many goals as we should, given the calibre of attacking players that we've got. We're out of the Carabao Cup. And again, I think because of the Liverpool result, that was kind of just brushed past this week. Like, we're out of the Carabao Cup, and it's probably a good thing because we need those days off. Well, we shouldn't. You know, the amount of players that we've got in this squad, we should be active and going for every single competition. But again, because of Ollie's mismanagement of this team, we were knocked out of the competition. Teams around us are getting better and being more consistent than they were last season. So, you know, a lot of questions were asked about that second place finish last season. Was that a good second place finish, or did we overachieve because teams around us performed badly? Well, I think the proof is in the pudding. You know, it's injuries to other players and management at Chelsea, and you know they went and made a change, and you've seen how that worked out for them. We're not going to be so fortunate this season.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, Connor T there with another super chat says, don't know about you two, but Ollie getting the sack, being dragged out is draining. It's like a bad dream that won't end, mate. This whole week has been a nightmare. I'm not going to lie. I'm with you guys. I'm trying to just portray how it is at the ground to you guys. It's no different at the ground than it is you guys watching. It's that bad. You're right. You're dead right.
I think I'll be losing you a little bit there, mate. Adam?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you back.
Can you hear me? Got it back. I'm back. Just wanted to say quickly there, I was just going on that it is exactly the same at the grounds that is you guys watching on TV. It's piss poor. We're not happy with anything that's going on with this football club at the moment. People are talking about Alex Ferguson's involvement. Should step aside. I mean, we don't know the ins and outs of that and everything regarding what Ferguson's input has been and stuff. But at the end of the day, results are what count. And no matter what Andy Mitten says, Jordan, mate, if we don't perform again in the next 3 games, that's a lot of crap, what he said there. He probably knows it himself, to be fair, that if results don't go our way, then he's just going to be back to where he was at the start of this week, mate, with everyone calling for Ollie's head and wondering when that day would be.
Yeah, look, you know, like we say, he's very well connected to the club. That works both ways. He gets information that he wants out of the club, but there's also an expectation on him to put stuff out that the club want him to put out. You know, and that's the message that they want to put out, is a united front. The club is behind him. There's no plans to sack him. But look, you know, I look at these next 3 games. You know, I was taught the other day he's got 3 games to save his job. I think timing-wise, it wasn't ideal for them to make a decision. Now, if they are going to bring someone in, do you bring them in with those kind of games ahead of them? Probably not. You let those games play out, and you would make that decision going into the international break, so that person's got a little bit of time to sort of bed in and hit the ground running. So yeah, I think Andy Mitten's just put that message out because the club want him to put it out. Like I said, the propaganda machine is on absolute flames behind the scenes. People are working overtime, double time to get the message out and try and get the fans back on side. But unfortunately, like, the tide has changed. They're not going to be able to spin us a tail now and everybody just support. We've had enough. You know, I think a lot of people were on the fence after that Europa League final. The money that was spent and the caliber of players that were brought in over the summer, there is now no excuses. And the performance that was put in on the weekend has sealed Ollie's fate. What are they expecting to happen in these next 3 games? It doesn't matter. If we go and beat both those teams, or all 3 of those teams 3-0, it isn't really going to change because we need silverware. We need consistency, which leads to silverware. And for me, and for, you know, majority of the fan base now, we do not believe that Ollie is the guy to deliver that.
Yeah, on this super chat point here from Daniel, cheers for that, Daniel Kurt, mate. It says United are trying to buy time because they're scared of Conte. Also, Conte turned Aspilicueta into a right-sided centre-back in a free. Do you think he'd do that with Wan-Bissaka? Secondly, the Wan-Bissaka one, I think he would drop him and probably coach him before he put him in. In terms of that converting him, I don't think he'd go straight in there. I think he would take him aside and coach him and make him a better defender. He has got good attributes already, Wan-Bissaka, but I do think someone like Conte would make him better, definitely. In terms of buying time, 100% right, mate. I agree with that, Daniel, mate. And it's like he says then, Jordan, I do think they are scared of a Conte for coming in. And I said this on the Sunday show. I would love Conte to come in just to, if anything, show them for what they really are, which is what you just described them, mate. Absolutely scared of anyone from the outside coming in. It's like the news fed to Andy Mitchell and the certain press members. And there are different, you can tell who's connected and who reports, in my opinion, in terms of journalism. You really can. You only have to look on Twitter to see who has got a realistic slant on it and who is being, I wouldn't say told what to say, but has to obviously put a little bit of more of a shine to what's actually going on right now. But on the Conte thing, mate, a manager like that, do you know what, mate? You can't. He's taking it for granted, but you've got to wonder what Conte is thinking in terms of this and what he would need reassuring on before stepping foot through the Old Trafford doors.
Well, that's the key word there, reassurance. There's certain reassurances that he's going to want going into a club like Manchester United that he's not willing to sacrifice for himself to be able to deliver what he feels he can deliver. We've heard in the past about certain things that the boards are not willing to ease control of, which is why someone like Ollie, it completely suits them. It works both ways for Ollie. Ollie would never get a job that big, and the boards want somebody that they control and almost sit back like Geppetto and just pull strings. Ollie is their Pinocchio. Someone like Conte is not going to allow that to happen. And that's where, if that relationship starts on that note, then we know that it's going to end up very toxic within 12 months because he's going to be restricted and not be able to do what he needs to do. And that, for me, is 90% of the reason why I'm not overly convinced that Conte is the right guy. It's not that he's not the right guy to deliver success. It's the environment that we're going to be bringing somebody as volatile as him into.
It's a fair point. I mean, Gordon Murray there with a super chat. Johnny says, read the board. We're going to review the situation with Ollie in December. Do you think that's true? No, I don't. I really don't think that's true because you can't ignore results. You can't ignore 1 point from 12. You can't ignore our defensive record. And you know what, mate? I was going to bring this up later, but this whole sort of propaganda-driven steam train, you could say, the unstoppable steam train that they've got running through, hoping to clear things up and sway people, which isn't working at the moment, is the fake stat. I call it the fake stat train, mate, because people bringing out the defence is the problem at Manchester United, and they brought out all these stats, the goals, expected goals, mate. In the last 6 games, we've only managed to score more than 1 goal once. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That for me, I'll bet you take Leeds and you take Newcastle. Bearing in mind, people, these are 2 teams that fighting relegation right now that we beat at Old Trafford. Yeah. Without them 2 games, this forward line is looking as bad as the defence, mate. And people bringing up these stats all of a sudden saying there's no problem, chances created. Yeah, a few of them chances have fallen to McTominay and Fred, I tell you. And why is that? Because teams are letting them players have the ball. We're easy to defend against as well as attack at the moment, Jordan. I think it's just, like I said, this whole fake stat train, it's not helping their cause. Fans, like you said, they're not falling for it, mate.
Nah, they're not falling for it. And this is the thing, this PR Chester United, they're sat there and they're putting out the highlights from past games and goals and this day 18 years ago and all this jazz. Someone sat in the office being told, find content that we can put out that gets people on side. But the issue is that, like I said, the wool can't be pulled over anymore. The fans are awoken to what is happening, and the pressure is falling on the board. It's actually not falling on the manager now. It's on the board to make a decision. The problem we've got is that we have now well and truly been found out. I said this at the beginning of the season. I think it was like the second or third game. Like any team now with a manager with any kind of tactical nous can look at our team and be like, give them the ball, let them hold the ball. They will fail to break us down. That's why teams are just sitting back and like have it. There's no fear now anymore because of the way we're set up. And that isn't going to change from Sunday to Saturday. the manager needs to change, and somebody needs to come in with a fresh philosophy to get us playing again, and utilize the squad and the players' skills to the best of their ability. And Ollie ain't that guy, so they can fire out as much PR as they want to, drag Paul Sir Alex, from retirement back to the training grounds and all that. It's nonsense, mate. It is nonsense. Like we need change and we deserve better, and that is what the board need to realise.
Yep, I don't get the few games to turn it around. How? A lucky win and a couple of shitty draws, I fear, for the game against City, says Kaz. Bless his there on the super. Cheers for that, mate. On that, mate, I was, again, everyone is thinking exactly the same way we are. We're all on the same page right now, United fans, apart from the minor few. But that, again, mate, it's like moving goalposts continuously with this football club. It's like, oh, he's going to get that result. He's going to get that result. He always gets that result. We need that result just to pull it round again. He always does this. Well, we needed a result against Leicester. I needed a result against Liverpool. Why does it have to move to Tottenham now? It's just a continuation of moving the goalposts consistently. And people like Andy Mitten come out and talking, saying this has improved. I've seen someone roll off a list of players that have improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I didn't agree with one of them. It was the likes of. I think we had Rashford, Luke Shaw, Greenwood. I can't remember who else it was now. But just on them three alone, I'm thinking they haven't got better. You know what I mean? Since Solskjaer's took charge, Greenwood and Rashford can't get in the England squad anymore. I know Rashford was injured, but when he was fit, you know what? He wasn't first choice, whereas he was before. And that, for me, shows a sign that, yeah, maybe Rashford was all right at a stage of Ollie's tenure. But I'm looking at now, Jordan, mate, and I'm seeing regression. I'm seeing regression because players are being played out of position. Luke Shaw has only been good for England over the last year, for me, since the start of this season, sorry. Even with England giving away that penalty, very, very sloppy. Luke Shaw has gone backwards. It's quite clear to see. So this whole Ollie's improved certain players thing, I'm not having that either because, I'm not, you know what I mean? Players are players, and when they cross the line, they are their own responsibility and it's up to them. But when a player continuously gets played out of position, Jordan, then you can see what happens after a long spell of time. I think it was Samuel Luckhurst who described Bruno Fernandes as the perfect example of Manchester United right now. A player with undoubted quality, who works in moments of brilliance, but is clearly frustrated and lost his way in a system and a formation that has lost everyone. And he does, you know what? He couldn't have described it any better than that, Jordan, because he does. I'm seeing regression in Bruno now. He's fed up. And this is down to, like you said, mate, this is down to how we approach games and how we are playing.
Yeah, no, totally. He is frustrated, and I see that in Ronaldo as well. It's not good. It really isn't good. And that's what it comes back to it. Teams have worked out how to play against our better players so they can nullify someone like Bruno. And we don't have a B plan, a C plan, because we don't really have an A plan. It's vibes. It is vibes. He reverts the type. He picks the same 11 and he just prays. He just prays. And if that doesn't work, he can't tactically change game within the game to make things happen. And that's what I'm saying. What is these 3 games going to prove? Because I'm telling you something now. Spurs, after losing to West Ham, you've got to remember, Spurs are in a position where they've lost to one of their bitter rivals. I've got some really good Spurs fans, friends, and West Ham fans that are friends. The West Ham fans are absolutely torturing the Spurs fans. And no Spurs fans are saying, that's all right, because we'll go and turn over United and we'll bounce back. So it ain't going to be an easy game. They're going to be so up for it now. They're going to look at it. This is their cup final now. If they can get 3 points against United and kick us when we're down, then, their season then rolls on. So it's not going to be easy. You look at Atlanta, bear in mind we were 2-0 down at half-time. We're now going away. I'm telling you, that is going to be a tough game away. That's not going to be an easy one.
No, mate.
And then we got Man City. What 3 games to give him to save his job?
I know, mate. Do you know what? It's this. Even them, though, mate. I'm looking at him. I'm going like that. He shouldn't have even been given these games. It shouldn't be a case that Oh, we've got this. You've got to do something in these 3 games to save your job. You know, like I said, I needed something against Leicester. I needed something against Liverpool. Oh, lo and behold, we concede 9 goals, and we're now in worse form than Norwich City, who are on the brink of hitting the Premier League record for worst points tally. In the last 4 games, Norwich have had 2 points, 2 more clean sheets than us, and we've had 1 point, 0 clean sheets. I'm going, what more does it take for people to realise that, even if you get 1 win in these games, that it's not going to change the whole outlook of what has been happening for over a year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I look at it, but like I said, 3 games to save his job. I've seen easier games on Squid Games, but I'd like to think the board have looked at it and gone, do you know what? Nothing good is going to come of these 3 games. We might nick something against Spurs, nick a draw against Atlanta. Man City is going to be tough, but he has beaten Man City in the past. And let's look to bring someone in, and someone's lined up to come in ready for the international break. I'd like to think our board was that smart, but we know what they're about. They're really not about it. They're not about their life. They're hoping he turns around, can go on an 8 to 10 game run, get back on track to finish in the top 4, stay in the Champions League, and the fans get back on side.
Yeah, that's it. The super chat here from one of our members, Chaitanya Rolka, says, I am not slandering Fergie. He was backed by Sir Matt Busby. That's why our fans were spoiled of winning. He's backing Ole, then it's okay. Ole needs to prove him right. Do you think so little of him that the Glazers will call Sir Alex Ferguson for PR spin and he will do it? I mean, on that, like we said, and I said a minute ago, we don't know how much Sir Alex Ferguson is involved. We've seen the little news snippet of all of a sudden Carrington becoming one of the greatest tailors in all of Greater Manchester, and anyone who's dealing with a football club or works for the club goes there now to get fitted out. I mean, you couldn't have written, mate. It was hilarious. When I seen that, I just went, "You're taking it to new levels now. You really are." And you know what? That could have possibly been it. It really could. I'm not having that.
Mate, we lost you. Come on.
I'm back again. I'm back.
He's back. He's back.
I'm back. Sorry, I always go at the best moments. I think United are pressing with my Wi-Fi at the moment. That's what they're doing. But I mean, I honestly don't think that Sir Alex Ferguson is as involved as what people are saying, mate. He's got an opinion and he will be asked for his say. But end of the day, mate, I mean, there are bigger players at the table than Sir Alex Ferguson in all of this. I don't necessarily want to be slaughtering Sir Alex Ferguson. No one knows if he's had a say, and I don't think anyone would dare come out and talk against him at the football club. We know everyone has to be careful in the media about what they say around United, like we just spoke about, mate. So I don't think Sir Alex Ferguson is going to be anywhere near anyone digging him out or anything like that. But you know what, mate? When you look at it, it all comes down to results, Jordan. And like you just said, then if we sneak a point, if we get lucky in a certain game, it's not going to change what has already happened, mate, for these fans now.
No, it's not. It's not changing anything, mate. And the other thing with it is actually just before I go, over 8,000 people watching on a Thursday night.
Yeah,
absolutely love that, guys.
Get in, people.
Hit the share and subscribe button. If Sir Alex wants to talk to Ollie, that could be very easily arranged behind closed doors. They wanted people to know that Sir Alex was there. They wanted that out there. They want to attach Sir Alex to Ollie as much as possible, so people look at those two as one, and Ollie is the future, Sir Alex, and can finally step into those shoes and fill that role. That this is the propaganda machine that Manchester United is now. This is the business that they are. They're pushing this out there. They're trying to get people back on side. It actually is quite insulting that they look at the fan base and they feel like we could be mugged off that easy. That all they need to do is drag Sir Alex down to Carrington, post some pictures out there, and then everyone goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Sir Alex is backing Ollie. We've got to back Ollie." It is insulting to us,
Yeah,
we
it is definitely gone. You 100% agree with that, Jordan, mate. It is gone. Them days are finished. this whole United way thing. Actually, Jordan did steal my thunder then, guys, by the way. Over 8,000 in the room with us. Hit that subscribe button and like the video, guys. We are only 14,000 away from 1.2 million and edging closer to the biggest football fan channel on YouTube. Not just United, biggest.
Let's
keep it going, people. Smash that like button. Let's get the comments up. You are on it tonight like a carbonic, guys. New members all over the place. There's loads of super chats coming in. I'm trying to get everyone in as we go through. But yeah, Sir Alex Ferguson one, Jordan, has definitely stirred the pot with a lot of fans. And again, it feels like the football club are playing with our emotions again, mate. They've been doing this constantly all season. New member there is Glory Man United. Welcome to the United stand, my friend. I don't want to talk too much about Sir Alex Ferguson because, like you just said then, Jordan, it's been used, and do you know what? It's taking the fans for a ride again. It's deflecting, is what it's doing, mate. It's deflecting again away from, like I said at the start of this video, our manager that hasn't said one thing yet this week. Our captain has only just come out on Thursday, and that's because he was doing brilliant work behind the scenes with the foundation, which we have to make sure he's put out there as well. Harry Maguire deserves all the credit in the world for doing that and what he's doing there. Great work. But only now, because something was set up, has he said anything? What's changed, Jordan, from these poor performances before when they've come out literally an hour after? We will make this right. Sorry to the fans. This is not us. We're doing everything we can to put the wrongs right again, mate. All of a sudden, because it's Liverpool, everyone goes hiding, mate. I think the realization has hit with these players, and that's why I think everyone's intrigued to see what happens this weekend, mate.
Yeah, you know, you've hit the nail on the head. It's the realization it's Liverpool and how deep it hurts. Like, I look at, like, Harry Maguire, I don't know, maybe somebody in the comments can tell me this. You play for Leicester. Do they have a bitter rival? I wouldn't, I don't know who that is. Do they have like a massive derby that means anything to them, like Man United, Liverpool? I don't know. So for him to come to the club, and I said this on Sunday, does he know what it means? Does he really, really know what it means? I know he gets some abuse online after the game or whatever. But does he go home and is he really hurt into his soul like it hurts us? I don't know if I don't know if it does, you know? And I think that the reaction then from the game is like, whoa, this isn't just like losing to anyone else 5-0. This is deep. And then you get to Wednesday, Thursday, and the game's behind you now, and then you start looking forward, as not as in excitedly looking forward, but you have to look forward to the game that's coming, which is obviously Spurs on Saturday. So now it's the mission now is to try and get the fans on side and get everyone behind us to go into that Spurs game and almost, you know, leave the Liverpool game behind us. Well, unfortunately, no, that we can't just leave it behind us. You know, it's still hanging over all of our heads. Yeah.
I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had 2 of the worst results in Manchester United's Premier League history. So, do you know what I mean? And like I said, I don't want to keep bringing up the defence like it is the only problem. It is a massive problem, and we've completely lost our way. But the forward line, everyone's trying to just say one half of this team isn't working. Excuses, not having it. The whole team is struggling. We are one. It's like Paul Scholes said the other night. Starts from up front. And if you're not all going to press together, if you're not together as a unit there, you leave the midfield wide open. The midfield is crap. And inevitably, that is going to leave the defence like a sitting duck, and a duck that's got one wing and one leg at the moment, it would seem, that can't either fly out, swim, paddle, or do anything, mate. It is just pathetic right now. And Harry Maguire is part of that. And like I said, I was there at Leicester, mate. Their Leicester fans were slaughtering us, laughing. They re-jingled the Harry Maguire song that United fans sing. I used to love that song. Now after going to Leicester, mate, I'm absolutely devastated. I can't handle it anymore, mate, because they were right. They were right saying that Soyuncu is better than Maguire. And at the moment, he probably is. But you know what? That's just the way United work. And another point there that shows you how badly this football club is run, because Mourinho wanted him for half the price before. All he walks in, there you go, all it is, 80 million. Let's make a statement. That's a whole different setup. But I mean, we've already flown past half an hour. God, the chat has absolutely it's gone crazy.
Tonight, haven't it?
It has. It's next super chat there. Cheers, mate. I think this is the best super chat of the night. Thanks, guys, for all the amazing content. Adamatics, I really enjoy the vlogs. Keep them coming. Oh, yeah, mate. Tottenham this weekend. Do tune in for them ones. You know what? I'm not even going to say anything. I daren't because everyone's seen my moods. I go drive wherever I'm going. Well, I'll do the road trip. Optimism's there, and I'm building and building. And then the fan vlog comes around and everyone's laughing at me every single week, mate. And it's just like, oh, God, this club just has kicked me in the gut so many times this season already. We're not a third of the way through yet, mate. I can't believe it. Oh, God. I mean, I want to say, people are DMing me. I'm guessing that you're absolutely inundated as well, mate. The next manager, this and that. We spoke about Conte and whatnot. But one thing I know, I've got a friend who actually lives over in Amsterdam right now. I will get your opinion on this as well, Jordan, mate. And he says, and he's got connections with inside Ajax. And he says Ajax are pretty much blacklisting United from what they've done with Donny van de Beek. So any sort of hope of getting a Ten Hag through the door are completely out the window in terms of how Ajax are concerned. Now, you can take these sort of stories with a pinch of salt, if they're serious or not. But when you think about it, mate, and you naturally do as a human being, then really you look on that sort of how Ajax would be looking at this going, they're not just going to come in here and take our manager. Do you know what I mean? We pride ourselves on an academy system. And I've seen Edwin van der Sar this week tweeting out about the development and how they're pushing their training facilities at Ajax. They're dedicated to producing quality young players. And United have taken one of their best prospects and just gone, nah, not United way, which I don't know what is, by the way. And you can look at it from their point of view, mate. If you just think about it for a minute, you go, really? Are they even going to entertain letting a manager go to Manchester United? They could easily just say, nah, we shut the door. But you look at that, and it's even with players, mate. And saying that you had an old player in Van der Sar there, and that could be a scenario now where they're not looking to bring anything or let anyone go to us because of the way we are and the way we've treated certain players, then that is a damning sort of verdict on top of Manchester United. And this has to be taken into consideration. Now, like we said, Conte's got to think if he wants to come in, he's going to need reassurances. Ten Hag's going to be exactly the same. And honestly, is it as appealing as it once was, mate? The United way is dead to me. I don't even know what it is anymore. And I think managers and players are looking at that now.
I think it's the United has lost its way. That's the key. And we need somebody to come in with their own vision, their own identity, and very clear identity. And more importantly, somebody that's in the here and now and not someone Jurassic or where the game's moved on like a Mourinho. We need somebody in their prime that's got a fresh set of eyes on this club and can really drag us back to the top. And I said the other day, I don't know if it's because I'm in absolute agony and pain with what's happening, but I am now starting to look at Conte and I'm like, actually, do you know what? Yeah, it could work. I think with the Ajax thing, the irony is that Donny's going to outlive Ollie. Imagine that. That's got to be a closed doors win for Van de Beek as he waves Ollie off at the training ground when he leaves and says his goodbyes. That's got to be sweet for him. So I think, if that was to happen, we could then rebuild the relationship with Ajax. What we couldn't do is Ollie stay in charge and us go back to Ajax to try and sign one of their players. I think it's us approaching Ajax to sign their manager means that Ollie's moved on. So I think there's more of a chance of us taking someone on. I'd take Van der Sar as well while we're at it.
Oh, mate, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? But you know what? That's what I was getting. That's the sort of point I was getting at just then. You know what? Van der Sar would probably look at it and go, you know what? I can't work with this. There's going to be reservations. There is going to be people like Van der Sar, even him, will look at it and go, I've gone from this perfectly well-run oil machine to this. And I don't know what it is. If it's trying to be a hybrid, if it's trying to be a diesel, I don't know what it is, but it's not running right, mate. Something is wrong here. The mechanics are wrong. And even people like Van der Sar now, I think they'd take a second look at it before they jumped.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not because of the club or because they don't love the club or because of us as fans. We're the best fans in the world. It literally is because of those owners. And if they're not going to give, a new manager coming in creative freedom to do what they do, then why would you take the job? Because your hands are tied behind their back. There's horror stories from Mourinho and Van Gaal about the club. Boys, yeah, and Van Gaal saying, it's not run by football people. Well, this is everything that we know. So, someone like Conte, who's in the prime of his career, he wins trophies everywhere he goes. There's plenty of opportunities for him to go to other clubs around the world. There's plenty of clubs that will take him. Does he need to come and take this challenge? It's more about us selling the dream to him that this is a good opportunity for him to come on and make a statement. Bear in mind, he's already been to England and he's won the Premier League already. So what is there to, what dream is there to sell to him for him to actually make this move? Other than the fact that we are the biggest club in the world and it's great for it to be on his CV. So we have to bear these things in mind. We have to give a manager creative control on being able to do what they do at the club. And I really don't feel our board will allow that to happen.
That's it. It boils down into then we're stuck with what we've got. And it's like Warrior Fellaini. Great name, that, mate. Great name. Do you know what? Fellaini would be an option right now for us, I'm telling you. Sure, Aaron Bissaka, McFred, Rashford, Greenwood, lack of chemistry with their teammates beyond playing basic level. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no system to develop intention on the ball. The players with footballing brains are benched. And do you know what, mate? I listened to another interview that Ollie made a couple of months back, actually. It might have been a few weeks, when he was talking to a journalist about his style of play and system. He says, football's a simple game. Well, no, it's not, Ole, because you can't just say, like you said, it's about determination. Who wants that ball more? Well, no, you can't play like that anymore, mate. It's not the 90s. You can't just go flying into a tackle like Paul Pogba did. He wanted that ball at weekend, mate, but he got sent off. So you have to have you have to control the ball so moments like that don't happen. You have to think outside the box, Solskjaer. You know what I mean? It's not that straightforward. Yeah. And this whole era, this whole myth of a United way, I think was in the 90s, mate, and he's stuck there, Jordan. And us trying to chase it has put us, I think, at least 5 years behind the best in the business in this league, which now is not us, sadly, mate.
Yeah, and this is where, I remember after the Europa League final, I said about us being, Ollie being the man before the man was the phrase. And I wanted somebody to come in that would pick up what Ollie started and then carry it on. But unfortunately, that isn't going to happen, is it? Someone's going to come in and put a fresh pair of eyes on this squad. We talk about Conte as an example. He will look at that squad and there's going to be players that he just doesn't fancy and don't fit the formation that he wants to play. So bodies are going to have to move out and people are going to have to come in. That's naturally going to be what's going to have to happen. And unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to people, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think the issue is that we look at the two managers that are available with Zidane and Conte. Barcelona's now available. He hasn't been to Spain. Is he going to look at that? I personally don't think he will, because I think Barcelona are in a whole world of trouble.
God, yeah. Let them have Xavi.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to spend money. He likes to spend money. They don't have a complete squad, so there are holes in it. So I don't think the Barcelona thing is right, but I just don't know if he's a right fit for our board. I really don't.
Yeah, this is it. That, sadly, is how it's looking, where the people that do select these managers are the ones that are looking at them for themselves rather than what's good for the actual team. Because the team is a real problem at the moment. And like you said, Jordan, only because it was the realization of the impact of being smashed at home by Liverpool that this has come to the fore right now. It's only now because it's only that now that we're thinking we're possibly going to see changes at weekend against Tottenham, mate. Well, you said yourself, you don't expect him. You expect him to revert to type and not do anything. Do you know what? In a way, I probably prefer him to do that, mate, because I don't want to feel like all of a sudden he should take credit for putting the team out that could possibly beat Spurs if he made the right changes and played the right system. If he does go with McFred, I'll probably be, in a weird way, and I don't want to be selfish in this because I do feel like we need a change, but I want him to, because all of a sudden, just because your back's against the wall and you're having the worst time as Manchester United manager, Donny van der Beek comes into the team. Because if you'd have been beaten and it wasn't as bad a result against Liverpool, McFred still would have been playing this weekend. So has he got the courage of his convictions to say, I still believe, like he said, in my process, in my what is it now? He said it is. Let's just say the courage of his convictions and how he wants to take the club forward and keep progressing. Has he got the courage in his convictions to carry on with McFred this weekend, Jordan, mate? I mean, it's balls there, but either way, he's sort of damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Which way do you see him going with it this weekend, mate?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot. Like, do I want him to make radical changes? Well, if he goes and makes radical changes, then he's an absolute hypocrite.
I know, mate. I know.
And also, again, go back to it. That's it, trying to insult us. You know, or you've all kicked off. We got spanked 5-0. So here's Donny. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to see that. Go out on your shield. This is what you believe in. This is your ceiling as a manager. This is who you are. Don't make changes now because, you know, crap's hit the fan. So, yeah, I don't think he will make changes, which therefore means I don't think we're going to get results. I really don't think. I think in these next 3 games, I'm being completely honest, I think we'll draw to Spurs. I think we'll draw to Atlanta, and I think Man City will beat us. And you can say, oh, you know, that's harsh or whatever, but I just can't see it changing. I really can't.
It's not harsh, mate. It's reality. You're judging that from what you've seen. So why wouldn't you think that, mate? Because you've not seen any progression from. We've not seen. Do you know what, mate? Never mind the progression. We've not seen a reaction all season to this. Only now, like we said, because of 5-0 against Liverpool, we're seeing all this. Players are working hard. You know what I mean? And you know what? They probably will run that extra yard this weekend, and we'll be like, "Where was it last week, lads?" You cannot kid the fans. It's simple as that. We're not having it, and we will be right. We'll be behind the players in that game as we always are. But after the game, we'll be like, "Where was that in the last 4 weeks, boys?" Do you know what I mean? Why is it taking fans walking out at half time to actually get this result out of you and this performance out of you? Does that mean you are not behind the manager? Does that mean you don't believe in him? Because it's only because of what we've done and the stink that we've kicked up that you're actually doing this extra yards now. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how he attacks this game this weekend, mate. And if we actually do attack, to be honest. But you know what, mate? It's one of them. I mean, are you seeing? I can't even ask the question. Are we going to see a formation change? Because we're not, are we? It's just going to be as rigid as it ever is.
Change. He couldn't make a change on a Rubik's Cube. He's finished. He's done. His time is done. His credit is done. Like, they just need to make a change. They just put us out of our misery.
That's it. You know what? Nikki's super chat there nails it. I'm totally with that. At this stage, I'd just like to enjoy a match. That absolutely sums everything up right now as fans. And it is, you go to a game and you're like, I really want to get behind my team here, but I'm just seeing nothing from him. I don't even know if they want to be here. And do you know what? That's what happened on Sunday, mate. If they don't want to be here and they're happy with Liverpool singing our songs, then we're going to go. And I know people who go home and away, mate, people who sit in the singing section, message me, gone at half time, mate. Can't stand this. Don't want anything to do with it. I mean, I was blown away by the reaction of the fans in the Liverpool game. I mean, I'm not a booer. I don't boo. It's not in my DNA. I'll support the team all the way through the game, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. And I think the fans reacting with their feet is going to kick up one hell of a stink to the extent that we've got right now, mate. And it just feels like this weekend, when you've said it, a few people have said it in the comments, that it just feels like this is only because of what we've done this weekend. This is only because of the kick and stink that the fans have kicked up. And you can feel it, the whole vibe of like how the propaganda machine, like you said, mate, has been working this week. They're just trying to get through the week. They're trying to survive, mate. And Ole, and you said them, mate, in them games, I don't see us beating Atalanta. I watched them again. They won at weekend, away from home again. Another 4 goals. This team with their players back is probably going to be one of the toughest games he's got coming up. And that Champions League, I said it before all this group of games came about. I said it with Mark and everyone else on the show that the Champions League is what's keeping him here. The fact that he's top of that group. But if he fails in that group and he gets a bad result against Atalanta, I can't see us getting anything against City. Not at home, and I record with them against at home. That 2-week break, mate, in internationals, and I'm like, that's the hardest week for a manager when you're on bad form. I don't think he'll survive it, mate. I really don't. Don't get me wrong. If we have 3 wins, mate, I'll be bouncing around. I will be. But I will be bouncing around thinking, where have you been, boys? Where have you been? And why has this only come now after this awful week in the club's history, mate? And that's what we're looking at, mate. The issues, if Ollie stays, are there and clear and present, Jordan, mate.
Yeah, I think you know, 3 wins. It like I said at the beginning of the show, it doesn't mean anything because we've seen it before. You know, and that's not me being, you know, a Scrooge or wanting us to do well. But if we win these 3 games, it doesn't achieve anything. Like we need consistency. This season has to end with silverware. And even if we win the next 3 games, do we honestly believe that come May we're going to be we're going to win something? And I really can't see it at all. I can't see it. So whether we win these 3 games and he goes on a little bit of a run, eventually the wheels are going to come off again and a change is going to need to be made. So whether that change was made after the Europa League final, after the Liverpool loss, before the international break, at some point he is going.
Yeah, that is it. I can't see him. I can't see him surviving. I mean, the club have to look at it and go, look, with Ollie in charge, moving forward, what have we got? Stubborn selections. It's going to carry on, like you said, mate. It's going to keep picking the same players. We've got player revolt. We've already seen that. Not even a third of the way through the season this season. I don't see any sort of style of play changing with Ollie in charge. And yeah, if you get a few results, like you said, mate, we're going to go back. I mean, look at the games after the international break, Jordan. Arsenal, Chelsea. I'm probably more scared about that Arsenal game because if you lose to them, oh God, it really will be the end. It really will be the end for a lot of United fans. They'll be like, we were so optimistic at the start of the season to be at this level right now where we are. It's crazy how we are where we are right now with these group of players, mate. And I think that's just showing up more than ever right now. And that's why, like you said, mate, that's why he's under pressure. That's why he's not come out all week and said anything. Press conferences tomorrow. Obviously, Matt will be covering that. It's going to be massively intriguing. I mean, give me an idea, mate. What do you reckon he's going to say tomorrow in that press conference? You know Ollie now. What's it going to be saying, mate, in that press conference?
We're hurted. We're low. All textbook United way responses. You know, he's very good at that. He's very good at speaking the United language. What we expect our United manager to say. You know, he's very good at those answers, which is why, to be honest, I don't watch his pressers anymore. I watch Mark's reactions to the pressers, but I don't watch the actual pressers. I honestly, for me personally, I checked out with Ollie a long time ago. Yes, I've supported him. I've supported him, and I'm never going to be one of those idiots that sits on the camera screaming "Ollie out, Ollie out." I'm not about that. I said I'd back him to the end of last season, and at the Europa League final, I was like, do you know what? Me and Ollie, we're done. You know, so he will come out with all the textbook answers, saying everything that he thinks that we want to hear. But again, it's insulting to the fans. We've heard it for 3 years now. We deserve better. We deserve to be playing better. We deserve better results. And spending 400 million, I don't want to hear about fine margins.
Exactly, mate. I mean, fine margins, I'll tell you where a fine margin is, the fact that we are bottom of the clean sheet league. You know what I mean? Newcastle have had more clean sheets than us in the last 20 games. And look at the money, like you said, that's been spent on that defence, mate. If you can't make that defence work, Southgate can make that defence work, mate. I'll tell you what, that's one thing he can do. Southgate can do it. I don't know. I mean, we're really lowering the bar now. But I just don't see. Yeah, I do think we're going to get a reaction. I really do. But it isn't going to be through anything that's been done tactically, anything that's been done through knowledge of the game or worked on the training grounds. They'll be training hard. They'll be put through the paces. But it's like someone said in the comments there, they'll be running harder, blocking harder, and tackling harder. And all his eyes, as long as you want that ball more than the other player on the opposite team, then that's what we need. We need winners. And he is getting there, he said. He's getting there with this squad, with his winners. It's because you're just buying them in, Ole. You're not changing anyone. You're just buying these winners. And if you can't win with the winners that you've brought in, like Jordan said then, Varane, Ronaldo, Sancho, then I don't know where you go from here. It's all right if you're not good enough. It is okay. You know what? Not all these great artists are headline acts, mate. You know what? Some of them are good for openers. You know what I mean? Good to set off the show. Everyone loves it. Get involved, a bit of a sing-along, get everyone warmed up for the main act. Ole is just not a main act. He's not a headliner. He's a medium or an opener in my eyes, mate. And I think, like everyone says, it's that phrase that everyone says, he's at his ceiling. I do think that looks like that is the reality right now, mate. And I can't see how these players get back on board. A few weeks down the line, it's all going to go crazy again, mate. And for me, honestly, United coming out and everyone, like Andy Mitten, and everyone writing up what they've done this week, trying to stem the flow, basically, is what they're trying to do. They're trying to put a plaster over a gaping wound, and it's just going to be ripped off because we're arrogantly going into this game. And you touched on it, Jordan. We're arrogantly going into this game thinking that United are the only ones who need a result. We're not taking into consideration what Spurs need right now and how much precious Nuno's under. I know. We're just not even looking at it the right way. And like you said it, mate, Spurs are probably under more pressure than what we are.
They are. They're in a whole world of trouble. But the difference is that they've got a better manager in charge. There's no way I can sit here and say Ollie's a better manager than Nuno. As bad as Nuno might be doing this season, I'm sorry, he's a better manager. He is. They are hurting. They've just got beat by West Ham. That's one of their biggest rivals. They're going to come out and fight. They're going to fight. You know, it's always been that way in Manchester United. We are every team's cup final. Everybody raises their game 10, 20% more when they play us. But when they look and see that we've just been beaten 5-0, and and there's a blueprint there to beat us, those teams will go at us. I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy against Spurs.
Not easy at all, mate.
You got a long journey home without those 3 points.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I don't, mate. Don't. I've got it. I don't know if this is Ricky or not, but Ali has to go. Too many forwards, game after game. He just doesn't get football at all. He does, but he gets football from the 90s, and it's not as simple as that anymore. For him to discard them comments in a press conference said everything I needed to know about where he is as a manager in the modern day game. Football has moved on, and Ole is lagging way behind in how he thinks the game should be played. Jordan, mate, give me a score prediction before you go for this weekend, mate. How do you see it going, pal?
1-1.
1-1?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That probably is the most popular bet this weekend. It really is. Honestly, I couldn't even give you a score prediction myself. I'm thinking the same. I think last minute equaliser for United, and everyone goes home with a buzz because we just scored in the last minute, and then the realisation will slap us in the face afterwards that we're actually mid-table, a third of the way through the season, and we've got City coming up next week. I think that's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to come around. But guys, that's it for the show. Absolutely amazing content from everyone and comments tonight. Over 8,000 in the room for the last half hour. Absolutely brilliant for a Thursday night show, guys. Big up everyone in the comment section. All the super chats, bang on point tonight. Don't forget, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, pushing up on 1.2 million now. And obviously, share the video as well. And get your comments in below when the video goes up on YouTube as well. Carry on the conversation because we're not letting it lie, Jordan, mate.
Listen, they can't pull the wool over. We deserve better, Adam. We deserve better.
I'll second that, mate. Jordan, cheers for coming on, mate. As always, top chat.
Love it, mate.
Guys, we are done. Thanks for tuning in. Do tune in tomorrow. The press conference is coming. Everyone loves the reaction to that. It's going to be a big one tomorrow. But for